Okay, well, let's move on to the European movers.
Well, these are more kind of not just European movers, but what happened this morning. We've seen the big story this morning has been this crash in Chinese stocks. We're down 20% from its peak. It's down 7.8 overnight, down 14% this week. And I mean, we saw a note from Morgan Stanley saying this is not a dip to buy into. We had these huge valuations in Chinese markets. We've had this huge rally there. We've got this worrying level of margin debt that's happening, where people are borrowing to invest, and you see the amount of people who are borrowing against homes to invest in the stock markets, and that's always a terrible sign. We started to see those numbers hike up. And
that was sort of justifiable, because there was a great rally in the first half of this year.
Well, absolutely, but I think as well as an issue, there's a trend of people investing outside the mainland. You get people who've kind of looked at Chinese market valuations and thought they're kind of a bit too lofty, a bit too high, and they've started to look at Hong Kong. They started to look at Shanghai and things like that, and they started to invest outside of those main stocks. I think that's driving some of that. And then the big one from the FTSE has been this recovery in Tesco.
Unbelievable.
Well, you see, there's always. I keep saying, like on our morning show, every time we do our stock picks, I'm always bullish on Tesco. People talk about Aldi, people talk about Lidl, but there are some markets where it's great to be a smaller, more agile company where you can take advantage of not being so big. I don't think supermarkets are one of them. I think supermarkets are one of those sectors where having that supply chain, having that efficiency, having that clout in the market,
having a cartel.
Yeah, having those economies of scale.
Yes. That's
where you're going to survive. And Tesco, I keep saying this, are in a position to weather that storm a bit, and they have taken knocking. But the results this morning saw a drop, a slowdown in decreases in sales. They're starting to find their footing again, and I think lots of people have sat on the sidelines waiting to get back into Tesco, and the kind of results this morning of what they wanted, that kind of trigger to get people piling back in there.
But is it also, could also just be the case that having fallen from sort of £4 to £2, even if it's not a growth story or a fantastic story,
but that's value.
It's value. It's a value.
That's a value investment.
Right, and on the other side, the utilities.
Everything. I mean, when we look into the European markets, everything's talking about Greece. Greece is the tail that's wagging the dog here, and everything that's happening in European stocks. It's not so much what's happening at the fundamental level; it's what's happening in Greece. And maybe this news that we've just had over the last half an hour before we went on air, that's going to see a bit of a rebound there.